Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm showing you something that I was doing with, I was playing with fabric and paper pieces of scraps that I have a lot, and this is not my idea. I saw this before many times. I think it's like Frankie paper or something like this. I'm just showing you how I make my embellishments out of this, and I'm not gonna even make with you guys today because I filmed it already 2 times and I lost the video, so I'm just gonna basically show you how you can do it. And it's very easy. You just need pieces of fabric and paper, and you just made a collage out of it. For this I used a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook, and it's a cardstock, so it's, it's heavy. And I just glue around. I like to start from the edges and work to the center, and I was basically just gluing, making a collage out of fabric, dictionary paper, music paper, scrap paper, anything that I have a lot of scraps, so I was just using my little pieces that I have. And when it was done, I just got my sewing machine and I stitched it around. Basically on this one, I stitched around the fabric part. Here and there on the paper part, I just did it, but it was just to look cute, but you don't have to. And I did all the fabric parts. I used my sewing machine. I used glue stick for this, and I used glue stick because I knew that I was going to stitch it around, but you don't have to. If you're not going to stitch, you just have to use a better glue and make sure all the pieces are glued nicely on the paper. I used the back of the scrapbook because it was a white piece of paper, and if I'm using a light piece of fabric, it's not gonna show the pattern of the paper. So that's what I did. And here it's before I stitched it, and I was just telling you guys, I like to start from the edges and working around, until I get to the center. Then I'm just going to glue this little piece over here, another piece here, and then it's done. And I'm going to use my sewing machine again for this, and it's another 12 by 12 piece of scrap paper that I use at the back. And then when it was done, I just cut it in pieces and made my embellishments. I was thinking about cutting this and use for embellishment, but I'm not sure I like it. I might use as a journal cover, so that's another thing. You can do it with your collage. You can use as a journal cover, journal page, anything. But my idea was to cut it in pieces and make the embellishments, and that's what I did. So this is how I cut it. So you can see I cut it, this was a 12 by 12. I cut it, this is a like kind of 6 by 6 part of the paper. This is the other side. I collage more neutral colors for this, and this is I cut here and just right here. That's where I just need to go and cut it the pieces. You need to think what you want. You want a larger embellishment, then I might want to cut here. You want a smaller one, you might want to cut this part. You just need to think what you need, what you want to do. But that you can do it. You can use bright colors. You can make more natural color like this. You can make one only greens, blues, whatever you want. Depends of what kind of scraps that you have. Then you decorate. And let me show you the ones that I decorate. So this is one that I decorated with some cheesecloth, and I just glue the butterfly here. And this one I decorated only with a postage stamp. This one the same. And they didn't need that much because it was already, you know, the background had a lot of things already going on, so I don't think I need to decorate with a lot of things. Like this one, I think it was nice the way it looked, so the only thing that I did was glue the piece of lace here, and I'm gonna go back to my sewing machine and stitch it right here on the bottom. So it's gonna be just a little lace in the bottom. And those, this one, I added a ticket and a postage stamp. This one, I added a postage stamp and a piece of lace. And this one, I added a cheesecloth, a little piece of fabric, and a button. The buttons are cute if you add them as decoration. The only thing is if you want to use a lot of buttons, or if you want to hand stitch, you might want to use a lighter paper, not a cardstock, because it was hard to, you know, by hand if you are going to do this. Like this one, I wanted to hand stitch, and it was hard on the cardstock, but I wanted to try. So this one, I used a piece, old piece of lace and a little piece of fabric, and I hand stitched it. You can do all hand stitch it, just I recommend use a light paper, don't use cardstock. So that's what I did. The only part that it was hard for me was cutting the paper. Like you can use your scissors and just go with the scissors and cut it wherever you want to cut. I wanted to, you know, not use the scissors, so it was a little bit hard. When I found the fabric, I just had to, you know, rip it with my hands, and it was hard, but you can do it. Like this one I'm gonna do right here. So I'll show you this piece. So I did with my hand. Then when you get to the stitch, you will need the scissors. You can think about this before you stitch, and you can just go around if you want. I might lose this piece and use for something else because I want to cut right here. So sometimes I need larger pieces of, you know, a large embellishments. So this will be a larger one. I just need to clean here. You don't have to if you don't want. And then I'll decorate. And this one you can even like make a longer one. I'm not gonna not use this. Why not? I'm gonna clean here, remove this white. Oh, you can stain with ink all the edges if you want for a, you know, more vintage look. But this one I'll go my sewing machine and I'm gonna stitch. It's too plain. Even after I decorate, I think it's too plain. So you can do it. You can add some lace here. You can add some cheesecloth. You can add image, more fabric. You know, you can make just layers and just stitch. First you need to glue before you, I mean I like to glue before I go to the sewing machine, glue in place, and then I'll stitch it. And you can, you know, just add a butterfly and something here like maybe a stamp, cheesecloth. This one is plain, so I might need to add more things. I need to think about this. But that's what I did. You can add lace, little piece of lace right here. This might look cute with a button here. See? I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to glue just in place so it's not gonna move around that much. And I'm gonna do this one with a button right here. So I'm not gonna show you guys when I'm doing this because it's not, we don't have time to do this on camera. So this is how I decorated my embellishments, and how I collage my papers, scrap papers and fabric, and to make my embellishments. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys like it and you can make something like this. Thank you so much. Bye.